morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well today. I'm giggling because I just realized I'm doing a faux pas. I'm filming a video with gum in my mouth. But the video today is not about me. I want to show you around my fall garden. I posted a short video yesterday of my view from the porch, and my cousin Peggy asked to see the garden. So I'm going to start in the backyard because it's the most fun and the most cute. And we'll start back here, starting from the porch, because this is the view that you saw yesterday in my live video. This is where I sit and drink my coffee when I actually do sit and I'm still, which is not often. But this is the porch. Hannah made the curtains. There's the door to the house, a fountain that's off for now. These are my bird houses on the porch. I like to take outdoor spaces and make them homey. So this makes it feel like home. We've got a lamp out here, some rocking chairs, some curtains, some faux windows that make it feel like a room, and my mosaic window, and the love seat rocker, which is great. So let's go out. Enjoy the little things. You hear the wind chimes. I hear some cars. I hear some fountains. So let's go this way. So this is October. It's October 10th, my father's birthday. But at this point, a lot of my perennials are dying back, and so it's a season of cutting back. I've taken some of my china inside for the winter, washed it and put it away. And that's a cute little chair. So at this point is kind of the garden art really shines. I don't know if it shines or if it's tacky, but I enjoy it. My surfer car with the Christmas carolers. I've got some new ornaments I'm going to put up in this maple tree for the winter. But mostly we're just cutting things back, and my shrubs still kind of form the bones of the garden. This rocking chair, I don't know if it's going to make it to the winter. It's falling apart, and I don't know how long I can sustain it. Cute little birdhouse. All the china on the walls. Brian hates drilling into the brick. Here's my hydrangea bush. So we're going to get turned around in just a minute. So a year ago during Florence, we lost this arbor, but we cut it back and it's growing back quite wildly. It's a Lady Banks rose. I always love the intro to the garden. I hope you don't feel dizzy. This makes me feel a little dizzy, but you can see the path that way. And we're going to turn around. And here's the welcome into the back garden. And you see the arbor. I just love that picture. When you're designing gardens, you always want to make it look like there's somewhere you want to go beyond and explore. And I think the curving path does that. But the hostas are dying back. I've been cutting them back. The ferns, my Japanese painted ferns, they're still with me. Of course, they'll die back when we have our first frost. I still have some Mexican petunias. They're right here. They come up really late and bloom late in the season. That one, the little bloom is folded up. But they're still pretty. We have Francesca, who is my, my dress form. And she's hanging in there. Some plates. The desk. So when I buy things, I don't know how many seasons they'll last. I usually hope for about 5 years, the desk. It's hanging in there. It might need some paint in the spring, and I need to get some more. I do have some fake succulents in it, so I need to work on that. Hey, Lisa. The birds have been active. We had a bunch of sparrows here yesterday, and this is like you can't see it because of the light. It's a topiary, the loropetalum, and so the sparrows were they were having fun in that shrub yesterday. Sweet little Peter Rabbit. I have some sage that's blooming. Let's see. There's the music stand. It used to have a bunch of little crystal things hanging on it. I think I've lost them. Hey, there I am in the mirror. So let's go this way. Hey, Paul. It's good to see you. Little watering can. And then my succulents are still with me. They're hanging in there. I like to give them a haircut in the fall. So I'll probably, you see they start falling off like that anyway, but I'll come give them a haircut. But mostly I just have garden art and a few perennials left. There's my bike. When I look at this bike, I think I spent a lot of time spray painting that rusty bike and sanding it, and I may have lost a few days of my life, but I love it. It makes me happy. Let's look at it up close. Let's just walk right in here. I love it because in this little Huffy seat, the seat has broken and there's foam. Hey, Heather. And there's just moss growing in it, and that little plant made its home, and that just makes me happy. I don't know what makes y'all happy, but that makes me happy. Plates hanging on the fence. Hey, Michelle. So let's see if I can get out of here without falling down. Here's our fountain. Brian does a lot of our fountain maintenance. I try to make sure they stay filled, but he cleans them. Ooh, there's a mosquito on me. So this garden, we've had a lot of Asiatic lilies in it, and I'm going to dig them up. I'm ready to dig them up and just be able to put some pine straw down. I'm trying to simplify because, Paul, one day I want to live in the mountains like you do. So I'm trying to simplify some things. And this is the arbor to the back. This is a honeysuckle, and I hang Christmas ornaments on it because it makes me happy. Other little things. I did have a little pig hanging on it. I don't know where she is. I'll find her. And that's my hanging tea party. The teapots and the creamer. And this chair, you can see that the petunias have grown up. But yeah, there's my chair. So all this stuff will get cut back at the frost. Now, my poor little flamingo tower, it's not looking too hot. But this time of the year, I don't really care that much. We had to take this down for Dorian, and I put it back up, and it's looking kind of rugged and raggedy. And you can see that things are dying, and we're slowly getting things cut back. So there's the porch. Oh, there was a pretty thing over here. So there's my rose. It needs to be cut back. And this little piggy, he makes me happy too. So these here, I can't remember what they're called. There's some kind of asters. They look like little daisies. And they're growing, and they're looking raggedy, but they're still blooming. So I wanted you to see this over here. This is a plumbago, and it's really pretty this year because it's kind of taken over. That's my composter, and behind that is the gas tank for our gas logs. But I just really like how it's covering up the ugly part of the garden, because we only have 2/10 of an acre, so I don't have a lot of space to keep my gardening stuff. There's not a lot of, I don't have space for a shed, and we keep our cars in the garage, so I have to have a workspace. And so I have this workspace that isn't very pretty. I try to make it pretty, but I just love how the plumbago did that for me. Okay, I'm gonna turn around. It does make me dizzy. The bird cage, and then I just love this little spot. It might get a chair or something. It just looks like a sweet little spot. I think that's you, Barbara. Hey, Barbara. And my sink, you can see that my little shamrocks are dying out, but I'll make them new next spring. And my little flamingo, who got a paint job this year, she's doing well. She still has her crown and her sash, and the birdhouse tree is hanging in there. And my tea table, it's getting rusty. I don't know how much longer it's going to last and if I'll replace it. And the mirror that was back there broke in Dorian, so I think I'm just going to get a framed mirror to hang back there. The mosquitoes are getting me. Okay. So here's the arbor, and here's the backside. You can see how pretty the plumbago and the roses look there, and got some vines. Oh, this is fun. Oh, let me see if I can remember the name of it now. I can't remember the name of it. Maybe it'll come to me. But it has these beautiful little purple, they look like pea pods, but you can't eat them. But it makes me happy too. And this little spot makes me happy. Lisa's Cottage Garden with my little pig. Enjoy the little things. This is my happy place. So I often ask Brian why I do this, and he just says because you can. Okay, so let's go through and see. Oh goodness, sorry about that. So here's our dry creek bed. And this is the hosta side. I'm going to shut the gate so Coco doesn't escape later. I still have a few hostas with me. Some coleus. And I love this little vine. I think that's you, Lisa Chapel. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Ashley. I'm filming a short, or maybe long, video of my garden. My fall garden. And there's my, my little sweet sewing machine. I've collected moss from all over North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and I add it to the collection. Whenever I go somewhere and see moss, I grab some and stick it in a bag, take it home. So you can see the little maidenhair fern in there. There's a little chair and a little, I don't know, trellis and some soup tureens that are hung. Oh, pardon my sniffles. It's a little cold out here. And my maple tree. And this is our new, I don't want to tell you how many thousands of dollars, air conditioner. I think I'm going to put a little tree beside it because it looks kind of bare over here. And here's a happy little bird. And usually when I've said this before, usually when I create things, it's because something breaks and I walk around trying to find somewhere to put it. And here's my little truck with the fake succulents. Oh, and this has some real moss and I put some fake moss on it. So I'm working on making this moss. And here's my dry sink. And we stayed in a house in the mountains that had the same dry sink, but not in the garden. And I've kind of decorated it for fall. It's got my happy bunnies. And then here is my my rusty triangle, and I went to I found a cemetery in town that is my best source for free Spanish moss. There's Spanish moss all over Wilmington, and I used to drive around like in doctors' parking lots and stuff looking for it on the ground. But there's a friend of mine who died, and she's at rest in a beautiful cemetery, and I've discovered along the back of the cemetery near where she is, there's Spanish moss that I take. It's a parasite, so I don't think they would mind. All right, so here's a new pathway I'm working on. It's coming along. I'm making these stones. You'll see there's a pink one that does not belong. It's going to be replaced soon. All right, so let's go over the bridge. We're going to go over the bridge. The rusty bridge, I don't know how much longer it's going to last, but it will hold my weight. And others, you can see all my stepping stones. Brian has them edged really pretty right now. I have over 100 in the yard. So this is the front yard. These roses haven't done well. We replaced them and they're just spindly. I don't know what I'm going to do. But this is a new bike that I got. I think I paid $25 for it. It's a rusty bike, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might paint it blue, but I kind of like it right there. I'll put the little basket on it. So that's right there in my front yard. Oh, good thing I have cool neighbors. Okay, so I'm just going to give you, we're just going to go around. We might stop here because my hands are cold. There's Greg's car and all my plates and my teapot tree, and it just looks nice. So I would sit on that bench and finish the video, but it's cracking. But I want to thank you for enjoying me on my video of the yard. It was an impromptu decision for me. So right now I'm just finished up my New Testament class, and I've just preached 4 times in 4 months, and I don't know what to do. It's like all of a sudden I have free time and I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing because I'm so used. Thank you. Oh, hey Ashley. Yeah, Ashley's saying that she thinks about The periwinkle. Yeah, I took some periwinkle from her grandmother's, I think it was your grandmother's house, and planted it at my dad's house in Charlotte, and it's still growing. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm so used to like rushing and rushing and rushing and rushing, and all of a sudden there's no rush. So I'm thinking like, maybe I'll get in the bed and read a book, which sounds really foreign. But I'm allowed to rest, so I'm trying to rest and catch up and clean the house and organize and do things that I've needed to do, you know, since maybe July or so. Oh, hear the birdies, they're so precious. So that's what I'm doing. I do have a few speaking engagements coming up, but this week I just feel like I'm supposed to rest. So I think I'm gonna go get in the bed and read a book and maybe even take a nap. So I hope you've enjoyed the garden. Peggy, I hope you get to see it and you enjoyed it. And thank you, friends, for joining. Hey, Ange, my new friend. I just showed them around my garden and took a little tour. So God bless you all. I hope you have a great day. And thanks for joining. Take care. Oh, one more thing. One more thing I just want to add. I just want to acknowledge my garden is beautiful, and I can say that because so many people have told me, and I believe it finally, and it's true. It's different, but it's beautiful. But what I want to say is God is the reason my garden is beautiful, because He gave me the gift of creativity, which is within you as well. But He gave me the ability and the drive and maybe even the craziness to create something like this. So I do just want to acknowledge that yes, my garden is beautiful, but not because of my amazingness, but because God gave me the ability, gave me the skills, taught me how to educate myself, gave me friends who gave me plants and who helped me. And I just want to acknowledge that He's the source of any beauty or creativity or joy that you saw in this video today. I have just been His tool, and it's been fun because God has a really fun sense of humor, and I have the same fun sense of humor, and He creates things that bring me joy, and hopefully it brought you joy today. Bye. Take care.